Hello everybody, my name is Zach, aka the Weather Gamer, bringing you a team takeover. So I am taking over a team in LTPL, which is the lower tier Pokemon League. It's one of the Weather Gamer Network partners. Ian and had a hiccup there. Ian and Hydra run it. It's tier 3 and below, so you don't see... Oh, hiccups, don't start now. You don't see things like Zygarde, Zygarde 50, Celesteela, Kieran Black, Greninja, Reuniclus, Mandibuzz. Basically, if it's a tier 2 or tier 1 Mon, Megas are all gone. So, like, your top Mons are going to be like Tornadus I, Vaporeon, Zygarde 10%, like, that's your high-end stuff in this format. I know I have said in the past I don't take over teams anymore, especially after 8 p.m. But I have really wanted to get into lower tier and try it. I was debating running a lower tier season at WWC. Still kind of am, but we have Sword and Shield coming, so I don't know when that'll happen. But really looking forward to trying this out. So I'm taking over the team. It's 2 and 3 minus 3 or 2, I don't remember. It's either -3 or -2. There's 6 weeks left, so as long as I don't lose like more than 2, I should be okay pushing for playoffs and trying to push for playoffs. I got 6 transactions. I burned all 6. 3 for taking over, 3 for the season. I burned all 6. I need 3 more just to change up the last end of it, but it is what it is. I don't know when you guys are seeing this because of the scheduling with Luigi's Mansion and trying to fit things in and all that. So by the time you see this, the league may already be in playoffs and you're seeing the draft recap. So I don't know. I will figure that out. The day I'm recording this, I will hopefully almost be done recording Luigi's Mansion tonight. If not tonight, tomorrow night. Because if I can get Luigi's Mansion completely recorded and know how many episodes there are, then I can start jigsaw puzzling where everything goes and get LTPL scheduled, and we'll be good to go. Otherwise I might be several weeks behind, like 8 p.m. But anyways, that's that. I didn't initially sign up for Season 5 because I had so much going on at the time. I couldn't. I had surgery. The draft was starting about 3 or 4 days after surgery, just like NCL, and I didn't really want to try to do 2 drafts while I was recovering and drugged and all that. So I stepped back from signing up, even though I really wanted to. And so I'm glad that even if it is taking over a 2 and 3 team, that I get to come in at mid-season and try to do something here. So, as far as different rules compared to like WWC, Politoed's the only rain setter that's allowed. So you cannot have Politoed plus a Swift Swimmer. It's Gen 5 rain rules, so no Swift Swim Drizzle. As far as sand goes, everyone knows I love drafting weather, even though I said I wasn't going to draft weather again. For a while, I might have drafted weather again. Sand in this format, you're stuck with Gigalith or Hippopotas as your setter, and then Lycanroc and Stoutland are your 2 sweepers. As far as Hail goes, which you know I will never draft Hail, you're stuck with Vanillux and Beartic, and a 1/1 Sandslash. Those are your 3 options there. Sun is actually pretty decent in this tier because Heliolisk is there, Venusaur, Torkoal, Ninetales. Sun is predominantly lower tier, so Sun could be pretty good, but I did not have the Sun components on this team, so I didn't take it. The initial team, sorry, I'm grabbing my paper. What was the initial team? The initial team was Torn Eye, Alola Whack, Jolteon, Gastrodon, Beware, Miltank, Hypno, Arbok, Shiftry, Clang, and Lunatone. There's 5 different tiers. There's Quasar, which is like your tier 1s of tier 3. and below. Nebulas, which is tier 2s of tier 3 and below. Your stars are like your tier 3s of tier 3 and below. Your comets are your tier 4s of tier 3 and below. And your gems are kind of junk. Just, they're not good mons. They're just straight garbage. So, I'm just going to do it from Quasar down because I didn't actually draft it. It's just how I took it over. So, I saw the Torn Eye, and I was like, yeah, I want this game. So, I have Torn Eye. Prankster Rain Dance. So, yes, I am running Rain again. This is better Rain than NCL because I didn't screw this one up. So, you're going to see it's a Rain team. And I'm really, really happy with this team. This is the type of Rain team I was trying to draft in NCO and just farmed it up too much. But Torn Eye, it's one of the faster mons in this format at 111. There's not a lot that's faster than it. Obviously, it has Defiant, which is nice. If someone tries to lower stats, I get a +2 attack boost. There's obviously Prankster sets like Prankster Bulk Up. It's a Defogger. It's got Pivoting with U-Turn. Like I said, Prankster Rain Dance. So I can set Rain, U-Turn, and go immediately into a Swift Swimmer because I'm not breaking Gen 5 Rain rules that way. I can't have the ability Drizzle and the ability Swift Swim on the same team, but nothing says I can't set up Rain Dance and then Swift Swim. So, Prankster Rain Dance, I guarantee get the Rain Dance off before I die, and then I can go into a Swift Swimmer and just run shop. So, super, super happy to have Torn Eye on this team. That's part of why I said I'll take that and go Rain instantly, because I knew Prankster Rain Dance was a thing. Plus, Hurricane. Prankster Rain Dance, and then start firing off Hurricanes. Speaking of Rain, I get Kingdra. God, this is where NCL got screwed up, was losing Kingdra. The second I lost Kingdra, my Rain got messed up. Super, super bad, because the design was to have Polly, Kingdra, Kabu, and that was the Rain core. Didn't work out in my favor. And now Kingdra's free in NCL. Why did I get screwed there? But anyways, so Kingdra here, it does not have to be Rain. Critdra is a thing, and just so people are aware, I may or may not bring the Dirty Kingdra set. And what's the Dirty Kingdra set? It's the same thing as Honchkrow. Except Honchkrow has Super Luck, Scope Lens, this thing, Focus Energy, Scope Lens, Sniper. Because Sniper gives you 1.5. It's basically Sniper throws a choice, either Band or Specs equivalent if you hit a crit. Focus Energy raises you +2 crit stages, which I believe is the same as Super Luck. If I remember correctly, I'm going to look this up. Super Luck. Super Luck, the ability. Yeah, so Super Luck increases your crit chance 1 stage. Focus Energy increases your crit chance 2 stages. So with a +3 crit chance, I basically guarantee to crit every single time with Kingdra, which is really dirty. And I know it's really dirty, but sometimes I may do it just because how do you stop Critdra? Sub-Focus Energy and go. It's really, really good paired with Draco Meteor, because you almost guarantee to always hit a full-powered Draco. That is, you basically are guaranteed to hit a Specs Draco every single time, because your crit chances are so high. So, I know Kingdra's dirty. I fully intend to use it dirtily at some point this season if I have to, but it also, Swift Swim, Kingdra, just a powerhouse. And it can run both physical and special, so it's a really nice dragon. Plus, its only weakness is Fairy type, if I remember correctly. Fairy and Electric type. Because the water weakness of Grass is resisted by Dragon. I think it's Dragon. The ice resistance is covered by water, so I believe it's just Dragon, Fairy, and Electric are its 3 weaknesses. So it's really, really hard to take down. Up next, I saw this thing was available, and I went, oh Oh, sweet baby. Give me my Talonflame. I'm loving the hell out of Talonflame. It's so good. You don't have to run more than one set. Like, Swords Dance, Brave Bird, Roost, Flare Blitz is such a good set. You really don't need much more. But it can do more. It can U-turn, it can Will-O-Wisp, it can bait for rock types to Toxic. It's super, super good. It just has a Stealth Rock weakness, which Torn can take care of, but Torn also takes 25% every single time it wants to deal with rocks. So. But I'm super, super excited to get Talonflame, and Talonflame is one of the fastest mons in this format. Between Swift Swim, Talonflame, Torn, and some of my other mons, like, I straight went hyper offense on this one. I really did go hyper offensive ring. But there's not much defensive backbone to this team, so I'm gonna live and die by the speed and attack force. But Talonflame, I gave it the Z because you can have a Quasar or Nebula be a Z. Then you have to have a Stars or below or be a Z. So I took Torn Eye Z and I moved it to Talonflame. And ooh, I'm so ready to rip off Talonflame some more. Like, it's become my new favorite fire type in draft format right now. It's such a good bird. Up next is Zoroark. So, in my thinking process, I was like, okay. Speed stat wise, sorry about my dog. Hey! You! Shh. As far as, like, speed stat is concerned, I kind of wanted something between Torn and my base 100. I was looking for a dark type because I wanted to get rid of Shift Tree. I was trying to get a grass type. I looked at Delmise originally because it would give me a spinner. That way I could spin hazards instead of always having to have defog. Because Talon doesn't really want to defog. Torn doesn't really want to take rocks repeatedly and have to defog them. So Delmise would have been a good spinner that could have taken out rocks and is not super effective hit by spikes. T-spikes are the most annoying thing there, but Torn handles those. Webs, Delmise doesn't really care about either. But the more I thought about it, I just was like, I don't know about that. I looked at other grass types. I found another grass type that really, really interested me. So I was like, okay, we'll just split it. We'll get rid of Shift Tree. I'll keep Mon X that is in Stars that I had to keep. So picked up Zoroark here. It's the first time ever I've used Zoroark. Really, really interested to see. I've already been dabbling a little with building for week 6. And there's that disguise ability, or illusion ability, and the move pool. You can pull off some pretty shenanigan-y things with Zoroark. Like, if I wanted to run physical Zoroark and disguise it as Talonflame, I could, because Zoroark does get Swords Dance. So it'd be very, very easy to hide behind a Swords Dance. Or Kabutops, I could hide behind a Swords Dance. Or, I don't know if I have a Calm Minder on my team, I'll have to double check. But I could Calm Mind behind it as Zoroark and make them think it's that, and then Zoroark takes it out. It's a really, really cool mon. And I've been dying to try it, just never have gotten around to it because I've drafted Mandibuzz way too many times as my dark type. And so I'm looking forward to pulling some shenanigans here with Zoroark. I really am, and it's a nice speed stat. Because Talon at 126, Torn at 111, Zoroark at 105, next mon at base 100, Kingdra down at 85. I still need something in the 90s, but so far speed tiers are cleaning up very nicely. At base 100 mon was Miltank, which was on the roster already. Miltank and Torn were the only two mons I wanted off this roster, which is why I needed 9 moves, but only had 6. So I am stuck with 3 mons that I can't get rid of. But it's unfortunate. Anyways, Miltank, base 100. It's a nice cleric with Heal Bell. It's a stealth rock setter, because up until this point I didn't have hazards. It can be pretty good defensive, it can be a good AV user. I mean, obviously there's Whitney's Miltank, which is super, super annoying. It gets the ability Sap Sipper, which is really, really nice for protecting the... like, Kingdra doesn't care about grass-type hits, but my other Rain Sweeper does care about grass-type hits. So having Sap Sipper is really, really nice, because I can take a grass hit, get an attack boost, and fire off a higher attack. It does have T-Wave to slow things down for speed control. In case I don't want to bring Rain, I can just T-Wave and control that way. Obviously, like, Toxic Stalling with Milk Drink is a possibility, but, you know, I don't play Toxic Stall. It's a good mon. Miltank is a pretty good staple on Rain teams in my mind because it's a Sap Sipper, so very, very nice. And there's my base 100 speed stat that I was looking for. Up next, the next Rain Sweeper, which I did give the Z Crystal to, is Kabutops. I'm not happy with how I'm using Kabutops in NCL, so I wanted to give it another try over here, because I used to draft Mega Pert all the time for a physical Rain Sweeper. It'd be Mega Pert and then a special Rain Sweeper, because that's how I built my Rain teams. And this time I actually have the pair that I wanted in Kingdra and Kabutops with the Z. Obviously, it's lethal. If you need prime examples of how lethal Kabutops is, go watch Joey use a weakness policy Swords Dance. That thing went off. Base 80 speed. So we're dropping below Kingdra now. I still want something in base 90s. I don't know if I ever got that or not, but it's a good mon. It's got priority in Aqua Jet. Obviously, you set up. Weak Armor is a pretty decent ability as well if I don't want to bring Rain. If I can live a hit. If I can live a super effective hit, carry the weakness policy, Swords Dance on the turn, I take the super effective hit. I'm now +4 attack, +2 speed, and I just go to town. Yeah, my defense drops, but I don't care. Another option is White Herb, weak armor, so when I take the hit, I get the +2 speed, my defense drops, and then fits itself due to White Herb, so... Also another possibility, Kabutops is viable outside. It is a rapid spinner. I forgot that Kabutops was a rapid spinner when I was looking at Delmise, and that's part of the reason I switched away. It was like, no, I got Kabutops, it can spin. And ghost types can't come freely in because if I have a Swords Dance up and I knock them off, they're hurt. So, and Z Kabutops just, once I get a Swords Dance off, Z Kabutops can just obliterate something. So yeah. Kabutops. Yes, I did get Zebstrika. So this was sitting there. It was in the lower tier. I did not want to use Jolteon because you guys know that I'm not a big fan of Jolteon. So I started looking, okay, what fast electric types could I grab? That especially if I'm doing Rain, what Volt Absorbers are there? What Motor Drivers are there? Electivire, I could have gotten. Emolga, I could have gotten. Zebstrika was sitting there. I was like, ooh, Zebstrika, I'm coming for you, boy. I did not get to use you a lot in APM. It's time to use Zebstrika again. And Zebstrika and Rain, beautiful. There's a Volt Absorber, which Talonflame greatly appreciates as well. Torn, Talonflame, Kingdra, Kabutops all appreciate the Volt Absorber, or the Motor Drive for speed. It also gets Sap Sipper, so if Miltank doesn't want to come, I can use this as a grass check and get Sap Sipper boost. Like I said in APM, it runs both physical, it runs special. You can run Scarf, you can run Banding, you can run Specs with Motor Drive. It's just such a good mon. I'm really looking forward to now being able to cut it loose and give Zebstrika a good chance. Especially if it makes it into Gen 8, that would be huge. Here's the grass type I was talking about, Lurantis. And now the next three mods are the three that I wanted to get rid of, but I'm stuck with. Lurantis is really, really nice. It gets Defog, so it's another Defogger that is not weak to rocks. Its ability in Contrary is really, really good because I just fire off Leaf Storms like superior. I don't have speed, is the thing. It's base 45 speed. Super, super slow. Which, by the way, Zebstrika now fits beautifully between Talonflame and Tornado. That 116 stat is perfect. It's 10, 5 instead of having 15 stat between those two, which is 13's about the Adamant Jolly, or the attack boost, speed boost difference. So it's going to force something to run speed nature potentially. But this thing with Contrary is really, really nice. It's an anti-Trick Room mon, so it stops people from running Trick Room because I can just set up. Superpower, I boost my attack and defense every single time. I wish it had something that boosted Spadef, but it doesn't. I've seen AV sets put in work. Obviously, a Synthesis Seed set with Toxic and Sub, like a gross set could be something. But it's a very nice grass type. It gives me an electric resist, takes out ground types, which, if you have not noticed, run my team. A ground type is just so bad, especially if it's got rock coverage. A ground type with rock coverage just beats me down. So like Zygarde, 10% can just roll me. Yeah, it just rolls me. So that's really, really bad. And that's all I could do. Like, if I had more moves, I would patch up that ground weakness, because two of the mons I kept are ground issues. But yeah, I really like having this, Lurantis. It's really, really nice. I'm looking forward to using it. I've never had it. I'm starting to lean towards, like, when I need grass types, I need to look at the lower tier grass types, because that's where the lower tier power that I struggle with comes from. Lurantis looks good. I've actually found Meganium to be really useful lately. I mean, Shaman's tier 3, but it's still really useful. Trevenant was good to me back in the day, so need to look at lower tier grass types. And this also will help me with my lower tier issues. You guys always know I struggle with tier 5 mons. This league should help me figure out and play around with more tier 5 mons in standard format. And learn them so I'm not always carrying dead weight tier 5s. But speaking of dead weight, let's go ahead and get into the dead weight. I have Arbok here. Don't ever expect it to come. First off, I hate snakes. Arbok actually freaks me out just a little bit. But it's here. It's a poison type. I know this is going to be easy for my opponents to know, but Arbok's probably never coming to a game unless I absolutely have to have it. I mean, it has a coil set, but that's about it. Doesn't set hazards, doesn't set like, if it had T-spikes, it'd be a little more viable to me. Really, like, I could just run Assault Vest, Intimidate type of situation. Have it be a defensive mon, but yeah, I don't see Arbok being very useful. We have Clang as our Steel type. Not Kling Clang, but Clang. And this is where I said the gems are trash mons. Clang is here. It's a Steel type. It's slow. Has a lot of electric moves. I know Shift Gear on Kling Clang can be very, very potent. So maybe like Eviolite, Shift Gear, Clang could be a thing. I don't know. But don't expect Clang to come very often either. Last mon I wrote off right away, and then I've been looking at it versus my matchups that I've got coming up, and it doesn't look terrible, so maybe I'm wrong here, but I stole the moon. I pulled a Gru from Despicable Me, and I stole the moon, and I've got Lunatone here with its only ability being Levitate. It's a rock, psychic type. It does give me a rocker. It does give me my only ground immunity that is not weak to rock types. However, 1,000 arrows off of his Zygarde still just rolls this team. And I know I still have to play Zygarde 10% at some point. And I have no ice type. So, yeah, I'm going to have fun when I have to play Zygarde 10%. But Lunatone, it's not bad. It's base 70 speed, which is slow. It has a pretty decent move pool. I've been experimenting. I've taken this thing out on the ladder a little bit. I've taken this whole team out on the ladder a little bit just to play around with it. And you know, a Scarf Lunatone is weird, but it can do something. A Specs Lunatone has some viability. Does get Baton Pass, so I can pivot. Lunatone Clang, Zeb, Zoroark, Talonflame, and Torrent all have momentum, which you know I love having teams that have a lot of momentum on them. So, but yeah, we'll see. The last three, again, Lunatone might not be a scrapper, but definitely Arbok and Clang I'm more than willing to get rid of. But, oh well, so that's going to be the team that we take over here. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. Do you think I can make playoffs at 2 and 3 -5? Who do you think is going to be the kill leader? What do you guys think of the team? Just let me know. I'm really curious. So, but thank you guys for watching. Please check out the links in the description down below. Luke and Jaden, letting me for Twitch. We will be Twitch streaming Sword and Shield. Patreon's down there, which if you want to become a patron, cool. There's some special perks, if not, fine. And then finally, the LoveGamer Discord is down there. That's the best way to get connected with LTPL. You can come in through the LoveGamer server, and then there's a link to LTPL if you've got interest in the Tier 3 and below league. So, looking forward to it. Let's see. Catch you guys next time.